I am so happy that I can be sharing this one with you. I was just thinking that maybe I have a positive karma on my side because second time in a row that I get a good recommendation from my feed on YouTube, and this time is about one of the operas that I'm not sure if I would if I would say that I only like it. I would say sort of admire it. It really touches me very deeply. In fact, you can listen to a whole description of the opera, and it will be of great use. For us, in the season, if I remember well, season five, yeah, season five, Parlando. In the Parlando season, we have a complete episode for Andrea Lecouvreur. Andrea Lecouvreur, an immense opera, truly one of the greatest masterpieces in the history of this genre by Maestro Francesco Cilea. In Italian, despite the name being a mix, Adriana Lecouvreur, uh, it's more in French, but the opera, as you may know it, it's actually in Italian. So, and it is not because it is a long opera in terms of duration. It really takes a good number of hours to listen it completely. And if you watch it on stage, it takes around 2 hours and a half, which could be average. But you know, the in-betweens, the applauses, interacts, and all that could easily go to around 3 hours and a half. But this is time very, very well invested. I really, really, really think that only consummate, mature singers can go for this opera. Um, not mm, not because it is so difficult from a vocal perspective. I am not saying either that it is easy, but it takes a singer who is comfortable with his voice, with the overall range of his voice, and moreover, to be able to understand the psychology of the characters. In the specific, for the main soprano, for Adriana Lecouvreur herself, it's a good example of consummate sopranos going after this role. Of course, we need to mention Mirella Freni, Montserrat Caballé, Renata Tebaldi, of course, in this case, the name that I am going to be mentioning shortly, for the soprano. And it is only these very mature sopranos who choose to go for it. Being an extensive, a long opera, they have to be careful and be very intelligent in managing their instrument in order to endure for the whole 5 acts that this opera has. So, with that being said, let's go to the specifics of this recommendation because I really, really, really think it's well worth. We are talking about this version of Adriana Lecouvreur with the very great soprano Renata Scotto, that I must apologize because I have not included any entry on hers, neither in these recent video blogs and neither in the blog in Kofi. I have not made any entry for Renata Scotto, but of course she deserves to be included in here. Also, we have the very, very great Spanish, or more specific, Catalan singer. The Italianization of his name is Giacomo Aragal. In fact, the name in Catalan is Jaume Aragal, one of the greatest tenor voices of the past century. We do have an entry for him in our blog in Kofi, so go and look for it in Kofi. You find us as Opera We Love Singing in just one word. Excellent, excellent. One of the greatest tenor voices of all times. He's in this cast as well. And we have also the immense mezzo soprano, Yelena Bratsova, one of the greatest mezzo soprano voices also, with such a powerful chest voice that is, of course, very much needed in this opera. And we also have, because we also have here in the cast Giuseppe Taddei. Giuseppe Taddei, another of the greatest voices of the past century. So we have in this cast four of the greatest voices of the past century, each of them in their own tesituras. And this is just to confirm that not any singer can go for Adriana Lecouvreur. Adriana Lecouvreur, super, super demanding opera in terms of the maturity that singers must have. And if just to name a few of the music that is played in here, we have the entrance of Adriana herself, first with her reciting a part because she is here to be a theater actress. So she's performing in one of the. Everybody knows the short aria that comes after "Io son l'umiliancella," but before that comes something that really challenges the spoken voice of the soprano. Allaudate le da de le de le di da. That is so incredible. I would suggest that you go to our recording of that opera in the Parlando episode, season 5. Then she continues with the Io son l'umiliancella del genio creator, which is one of the most delicate and beautiful melodies written for the soprano voice. And we also have the aria for the tenor, one of the most beautiful, and this one a very complicated aria. La dolcissima effigie sorridente. This one is, oh my dear. La dolcissima effigie, also part of a duet with the soprano herself. And lately, it will evolve into one of the most astonishing confrontation duets between a soprano and a mezzo-soprano. So if you think you have seen Aida and Anamneris confronting, and if you think you have seen another confrontation duet as in Ana Bolena, uh, the duet that she has with Seymour. Just wait for this confrontation between the soprano and the mezzo in Adriana Lecouvreur, which in this case Renata Scott and Elena Obrazova are just splendid in here. And of course, right after that, we will also have the other confrontation now in front of in the middle of a party with many guests between again Adriana and the mezzo, this time again in a declamation scene by Adriana, which again is spectacular, is out of this world. And that will evolve into the final act where we will have the duet between Adriana Lecouvreur and Maurizio, a very, very beautiful duet, a very, very beautiful piece of music. And in the same act, we have the final aria by Adriana Lecouvreur, Poveri Fiori. So, as you can see, Adriana Lecouvreur is full of uh, some of the greatest melodies ever written for the human voice. I really encourage you to watch, if you don't like this one, to encourage you to look for another great version of the opera. But please don't move without ever giving yourself the chance of enjoying one of the greatest creations of opera by Maestro Chilea. Of course, one of the disadvantages that I need to mention to you on this particular recording is that the volume of the recording is a little low. So if I need you to be aware of that before going for the recording. But of course, it is really, really, really worth listening to.